Hey everyone, Daniel here. I'm coming from Blueprint 2024 at Vegas. We're going to launch our turn solution here. I am going to do two versions of this. I'll do the first one where I show you what the turn feels like in terms of the tech in the field, and then I'll do a follow-up one where we show a little bit around what turn looks like, the output, and then we do it afterwards. Okay, so talking about turns. So why are turns important? Why is something we need to solve here? Well, when we talk to customers, we keep hearing a whole bunch of things around the turn execution. And their goal is to have this fast and error-free turn, and it's just not happening. So what is a turn? A turn is when a resident leaves the unit and is moving out, and you got to go through it and make sure all the things you got to fix and repair part of the new resident coming in. When turns take too long, there's not enough people to do them. Obviously, it affects your ability to rent that unit and get it back up to snuff and start adding to the defense of the asset. So what do we hear? We hear there's a lack of communication and errors, keeping units vacant longer. So you're really bringing down your lease-up time. We hear there's inconsistent processes in the way you do things. So every single person is following a different way of doing the turn. This is increasing turnover costs. Again, also increasing delays and decreasing lease-up time. And then finally, staff shortages. People to do the turns, especially when a lot of turns happen all at the same time. This is creating delays, lowering quality of the turn, and increasing vacancy, so then you got like turnover risk. We talked about okay, so what are you trying to solve this thing? What are you doing to try and fix this? Well, we're trying dedicated teams. We'll just do turns, hoping for higher quality and faster turns. Problem with this is that dedicated teams are losing asset transparency and they're increasing turn costs because they're specializing that sort of event. Standardizing checklists to keep turns consistent and cost efficient. And we've all seen the checklist before. The challenge is that how good is the checklist being used? How often is it being used? Do you actually measure the performance of the checklist? That increases the deployment and risk because now you've got to train people on checklists and also and then increase the data risk. And we find a lot of that stuff ends up also inside lists. And then better tools speed up coordination, reduce delays. That's got the question mark around change risk that people have to deal with. Those are kind of the reasons that we have it, and then ultimately here comes the demo. So this is a quick demo. I did a turn in my hotel room and identified certain items there. I'm going to go on mute and I'll just talk to you a little bit around how the turn works. So you enter in the address, have the address go through, populate the data, and then from there you start to capture information around the turn. And all this data cycles back to head office in real time. Camera running. And there we go. So here I'm following the checklist built in around deadbolt functionality and checking the deadbolt, checking the locking, make sure it works, and then capturing an image. Here I'm using our AI function to capture an issue and a task. I'm knowing the other thing needs to be replaced, taking some images around it. And so hitting the AI button automatically creates a task that needs to be punched out once it's all completed. So I'm annotating the image that I took, so there's clarity around exactly what needs to be addressed. While I'm at it, I've noted that there are some deficiencies with respect to casing around the unit, and there I'm highlighting the pieces of the casing and talking about that using the AI button. And just as before, we're going to mark it up. We want to ultimately create a work order out of this data, and that work order is going to come with this detail that I've added, that I'm doing right in the punch in real time. Let me go through, keep going through the list, checking out things, make sure it's complete. And so the steps that I skipped contributes to the score of the punch list, in addition to quality of the turn execution. All the events I'm capturing here I'm marking, there's some stains in the ceiling there. All the events I'm capturing are going to be measured up against um, the lease agreement so that there is a AI determination of what is um, warrantable in effect or what is going to be billed back to the resident. Everything is obviously documented. All the corrective actions are captured. And we're really looking for exceptions to the rule, the things that we created in the punch, push those back out into work orders. Here I'm going into the unit and checking out the appliance, making some remarks around condensation, and at the same time capturing the model number to ensure that it's the same asset, the same model that was there when the unit was moved in. All on the way catching images to enhance the documentation of the asset. And again, capturing the model number again for each of the assets, that appliances in the asset. Here I'm looking at the timeline. The timeline is all the events that happen during the punch. And you'll see there that I have the model numbers for um, the different appliances. Those were all picked up using option character. So now I've inventoried all of the appliances in the punch. Didn't have to do a thing. All done visually and automatically. So on the right there, you see all the different guides that are part of the punch for the turn checkout. And all of those items in there, again, we're scoring on what's been completed, what's been completed. Here we're marking, there's some leakage around the right faucet. Checking out the operations of all the infra within the unit and, proving it out, capturing images, and this all forms part of the punch out. Here on the marking and observation that the toilet is appear to be level, given the water displacement in the bowl. So something we can get here. And capturing an example of what it looks like. Now, outside of the punch list, I've observed that there is a separation in the tile between the wallpaper and the tile within the shower. That is obviously not residence expense. That is something that we need to fix. And so I'm capturing that data. I made an AI task, and I'm capturing images around it, and I'm enhancing images with some annotations. Right now, I'm using an iPad interface. Obviously, this can be done with any device because it's web browser driven. No app to be installed. All people need to do is log into the base the iOS platform, and they can kick off their log to the visual inspection. This works great both on the tablet, if you see it right here, or on a phone. So if they want to whip up and just what they have on in their pocket, they can go use a iPhone or an Android device. marking that looks to be like a cigarette burn on a jacuzzi, which if there's anything out there that keep you from going in the jacuzzi. Again, just grabbing some visual observations around just some defects in the walls. Wanted to catch an image of that scene cigarette burn so I can add that to punch out. We're reviewing the timeline, all the events that I captured, just kind of doing a quick scan. You can see the model numbers of the appliances and all the images and then all the tags that are automatically attached to all the activities in the punch up. Adding some comments so that can be added to the overall evaluation of the resident move out and basically what things are at. Incidentally, I did with this weather typing it. I'll close it out, set up a review, and now in the next video, I'll show you what that review looks like. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Talk later. Bye.